Some motorcycles become popular because they sell in huge numbers. Others become legendary because they leave a lasting impression on the people who ride them. And then there are a select few that continue to live on, even years after production ends, simply because riders never stop talking about them. The Kawasaki KDX is one of those names. For decades, the KDX series has represented everything that off-road enthusiasts admire: lightweight handling, dependable performance, and the freedom to explore trails that larger motorcycles simply couldn't reach. But what if Kawasaki decided to revive that legendary name with something completely new? What if the company introduced a machine that bridged the gap between lightweight enduro bikes and larger adventure-ready trail machines? Welcome back to Acer Rider. Today we're exploring the possibility of the 2026 Kawasaki KDX 400, a modern concept that has captured the imagination of off-road enthusiasts around the world. And before we reach the end of this story, you'll discover why a motorcycle like this might actually make more sense today than it ever did in the past. Every legendary motorcycle has a beginning, and the story of the KDX lineup started long before riders began imagining a 400 cubic centimeters version. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Kawasaki built a reputation for producing trail motorcycles that offered the perfect balance between performance and reliability. While motocross bikes focused on maximum speed and racing, the KDX models were designed for real-world riding. They could spend an entire day weaving through forests, climbing rocky hills, crossing streams, and tackling technical single-track without exhausting the rider. That balance made the KDX 200 and later the KDX 220R some of the most respected trail motorcycles ever built. Unlike pure competition machines, the KDX wasn't intimidating. It rewarded skill instead of demanding it. Riders appreciated its forgiving nature, smooth power delivery, and lightweight feel. Over time, these qualities helped the KDX earn a loyal following that still exists today. Even though production ended years ago, countless examples remain on the trails, maintained by owners who refuse to let the legend disappear. That enduring popularity raises an interesting question. What would happen if Kawasaki decided not to simply revive the KDX, but evolve it? This is where the idea of a 2026 Kawasaki KDX 400 becomes fascinating. To be clear, Kawasaki has not officially announced a KDX 400. The motorcycle we're discussing today is a concept inspired by the legacy of the KDX family, current market trends, and what many enthusiasts, including myself, would love to see become reality. If Kawasaki ever pursued such a project, I don't think the goal should be to build the fastest enduro bike on the market. Instead, I believe the company should create the ultimate all-around trail machine, something capable enough for experienced riders while remaining approachable for those looking to move beyond smaller displacement motorcycles. The design would almost certainly respect the heritage of the KDX name while embracing modern engineering. At first glance, the motorcycle would still be unmistakably Kawasaki. The iconic lime green bodywork would return, paired with black graphics and subtle white accents that pay tribute to earlier KDX models. Instead of aggressive motocross styling, the bodywork would remain slim, functional, and purpose-built. A narrow fuel tank would improve rider movement while standing on the pegs, and a flatter seat would make shifting body position easier during technical riding. Compact radiator shrouds, lightweight side panels, and a minimalist rear section would all contribute to reducing unnecessary weight. LED lighting could modernize the appearance without compromising the bike's rugged personality, while a compact digital display would provide essential information without overwhelming the rider with menus and distractions. Personally, I think simplicity has always been one of the greatest strengths of the KDX lineup. Modern motorcycles are becoming increasingly dependent on electronics, but many trail riders still appreciate machines that prioritize mechanical connection over digital complexity. A modern KDX should embrace useful technology, not technology for its own sake. The biggest question, however, revolves around the engine. The original KDX models became famous for their smooth and responsive two-stroke engines. Those engines delivered incredible character and lightweight performance, but today's emissions regulations make a direct return increasingly difficult. If Kawasaki seriously developed a KDX 400 for 2026, a modern four-stroke power plant would likely be the most realistic solution. A liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine producing approximately 40 to 45 horsepower could offer an outstanding balance between performance and rideability. More importantly, it would deliver strong low-end torque, something that trail riders value far more than peak horsepower. Instead of demanding constant gear changes, the engine could provide smooth, predictable acceleration through difficult terrain, making technical climbs and slow-speed obstacles feel less intimidating. This is actually where I think a KDX 400 could stand apart from many existing motorcycles. Instead of competing directly with high-performance racing enduros, it could focus on becoming the motorcycle riders choose when they simply want to spend an entire weekend exploring without worrying about excessive maintenance or exhausting power delivery. Performance would naturally depend on more than just the engine. Kawasaki could pair the motorcycle with a lightweight aluminum frame designed to maximize agility while maintaining stability at higher speeds. Fully adjustable upside-down front forks and a premium rear monoshock would significantly improve comfort and control across rocky trails, muddy forests, and fast gravel roads alike. Ground clearance would remain generous, allowing riders to confidently navigate logs, deep ruts, and uneven terrain. Meanwhile, an optimized wheelbase could preserve the nimble handling that made earlier KDX models so enjoyable while improving straight-line stability compared to the original generation. Braking technology would also receive a significant upgrade. Large hydraulic disc brakes at both ends, paired with modern calipers, would provide confident stopping power in every environment. If Kawasaki chose to include ABS, I believe switchable functionality would be essential, allowing riders to disable rear-wheel intervention during technical off-road riding while retaining additional safety on pavement. Technology is another area where balance would be important. A modern KDX 400 doesn't need dozens of riding modes or an overly complicated electronic package. Fuel injection would be a necessity for efficiency and emissions compliance. A compact TFT or LCD display could provide speed, fuel level, gear position, and trip information. USB charging for navigation devices would certainly be useful, and perhaps Kawasaki could offer optional traction control that riders can easily disable depending on terrain. Beyond that, I genuinely believe restraint would make the motorcycle even more appealing. The KDX has always represented freedom, not complexity. Another reason this concept feels realistic is the direction the motorcycle market has taken over the past few years. Adventure motorcycles continue to grow larger, heavier, and more expensive. While those machines excel at long-distance touring, many riders are beginning to rediscover the joy of lightweight motorcycles that encourage exploration without intimidation. A KDX 400 could fit perfectly into that growing space. It would offer enough power for highway transfers between trail systems while remaining light enough to tackle demanding off-road routes with confidence. Riders who currently find 250 cubic centimeters trail bikes underpowered and 650 cubic centimeters adventure bikes too heavy might discover the KDX 400 to be exactly the compromise they've been searching for. In my opinion, that's precisely why this concept deserves attention. It isn't about nostalgia alone. It's about recognizing a genuine opportunity in today's market. Pricing would naturally play an important role in the motorcycle's success. If Kawasaki ever produced a KDX 400, I believe positioning it between premium enduro models and larger dual-sport motorcycles would make the most sense. An expected starting price somewhere between $7,500 and $8,500 would place it within reach of enthusiasts while reflecting modern engineering and equipment. Such pricing would allow the motorcycle to compete with several established middleweight off-road models without sacrificing the affordability that has always been associated with practical trail riding. Of course, one important question remains. Will Kawasaki actually build a KDX 400? At the time of writing, there has been no official announcement from Kawasaki regarding the return of the KDX lineup in this form. The images circulating online are concept renderings created by enthusiasts and digital artists who continue to imagine what a modern KDX could become. However, motorcycle history has repeatedly shown that legendary names often return when manufacturers recognize enduring demand. We've seen classic models revived across multiple brands, proving that heritage still matters in today's industry. Perhaps one day Kawasaki will decide that the time is right to bring back one of its most beloved off-road names. And if that day comes, I honestly hope they remember what made the KDX special in the first place. It was never about chasing the biggest horsepower numbers or loading the motorcycle with endless technology. It was about creating a machine that inspired confidence, encouraged adventure, and made every ride memorable. Maybe that's exactly what riders are looking for again. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If Kawasaki officially revealed a 2026 KDX 400 tomorrow, would you want it to remain a lightweight, trail-focused machine? Or would you prefer something closer to a modern dual-sport adventure motorcycle? Share your opinion in the comments below because discussions like these are what keep legendary motorcycles alive. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Acer Rider, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into legendary motorcycles, modern concepts, and exciting future possibilities. Before we finish, here's an important disclaimer. The 2026 Kawasaki KDX 400 featured in this video is not an officially announced Kawasaki motorcycle. This presentation is based on the history of the KDX series, current industry trends, enthusiast expectations, my personal opinions, and AI-assisted concept visualization created purely for entertainment, discussion, and creative exploration. Until next time, ride safe, keep exploring, and never stop believing that legends sometimes find their way back.